Ball. Till the day that I die. Till the nigga get it high. Ain't no harm in the side. Till I done gave it all I got for the city. I'ma ride, I'ma ride.
Every year, you get, anywhere from 20 to 25,000 people at a high school football game, whether you're inside the game or you're hanging out at, outside in the tailgate, or you're in one of the cars just passing by. You're all in attendance and you're accounted for. One of the things that you said in the beginning about taking it down to TIAA Bank Field, the only way that I could really subscribe to that is if they have plans as a city to give the schools back the money. If not, then the schools lose, which makes it harder for the next year, when that parent can't afford, a uniform or, cleats or things that are needed when the football team is struggling because of, misfortune of finance. Will the city then say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut you, Reigns, a check for X amount of thousands of dollars, Reebok X amount of thousands of dollars. We're going to let you all park for free because it's going to be advantageous for the city. It will be advantageous for the city, but at the end of the day, that game is really a mom and pop game. The economical dollar that is spent within that day. You think about the Harveys in that community, the different little areas, the Maddies, the Tunis, the areas that benefit from that. It's a fun. It's definitely a great fundraiser.
A bigger thing that would take away from sending it to the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It would take away the social aspect of it.
It definitely would.
Because again, I don't have a horse in the race, but I'm there almost every year.
Right.
Skipping out on work if need be, because this is like the North Side reunion.
Right.
Every person that was born after 1969 will be at that tailgate.
They're going to be there.
It's going to be crab pots jumping.
Yep.
It's going to be liquor spilling, barbecue grills smoking.
Yep. Golf cart racing.
Good fun.
The biggest thing that I love about this year's Northwest Classic, it'll be televised. That alone is going to take Reigns and Reebok to a level that, oh my God, because we're going to still enjoy all of that you were talking about, the love of it, but now it opens up the market for so many other eyes to be able to see the talent that's out here. So they're not just seeing the news clips of, oh, it's a shooting, or oh, it's a fighting. You actually get to see news clip like when I watched Belle Glades and teams down south. They're on TV all the time.
All the time.
And I'm getting to see these young guys. I'm like, oh, yeah, little buddy going to be something. Little buddy going to be something. But if I don't actually go to the games here, I'm kind of just like, they don't know. So now, by that game being televised, and I hope that it continues to go on over the years, because I think that it's going to draw more people to those schools, and it's going to draw more money because now other parents are going to want their kids playing at this school.
Correct.
Because you're getting the opportunity. Man, you're going to get seen on TV every year.
Right.
So now that money starts to come, and that alone, I feel like it's going to take both of those schools to a level that none of us ever imagined. I didn't imagine that. I graduated in 1996. Go Reebok. I got Trojan spirit in my soul. Love those guys. I would have never imagined that we'd be on TV every single year. I love it. I love it. I love it for Reigns. As you mentioned earlier, I salute all the products that have come out of there. Like, Reigns does represent excellence. There, I said it. I threw up a little bit in my mouth, but I said it.
Let me give you a napkin on that, man. You can handle that. But no, listen. What he said was
Give him some more water.
what he said was definitely fantastic. My question is, it should have come years ago to be televised. A lot of news stations will have like a game of the week, and you go and you vote on it. With the amount of the crowd participation, again, as much as this the emotional attachment from both schools that is drawn to this game. My man went to Jackson. He comes because it's a North Side reunion. the mere fact that it influences so many people, whether you went to the schools or not, automatically certifies it as the game of the week. It's a tastemaker. Reigns and Reball is a star by itself. You don't need to put anything with it.
If we just look at the numbers,
That's it.
there are people standing outside the gate just listening to the game because there's no more room inside.
Right.
That alone is why you televise the game. Just simple business.
Dare I say the basketball game should be as well. Because it really does not matter.
No one really cares about Reigns basketball.
Well, they've been.
We did win three. We did win three. Yeah, we won three state champs in basketball. Now that doesn't now
Douglas White.
I was listen. I would say this. Reball, they basketball hands down. I mean Reball has been to the mountaintop in state championships in basketball more than any times I can count for. So salute to them Trojans, because on the hardwood, they own it. I mean, it's just what it is. But that just goes to tell you that's two excellence right there, back to back. Not just in sports, because again, you have a lot of academia achievement from both schools that go. And that needs to be reported. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be celebrated. You know, only time we can really get the news cameras in effect is when something negative happens.
Correct.
So one of the things that I've been championed to do is to change the narrative of the neighborhood and sending some good news to the people versus, where it's been another, it's been a no. Let's talk about the positive. They need to see that. Our kids need to see that.
No, just to sort of piggyback on that, because I sent an entire package to Shad Khan regarding the schools. Yes, it's truth time. Regarding the schools and them being able to put back in and maybe make some scholarships, give some funding so that the kids can have some shoes and a Jaguar shirt, something new to go back to school. You gotta build love from the ground up organically. If you pour into these kids right now, yes, and you have to be genuine. He's gonna have to put some money into this community. He's gonna have to put some money into this city, not just like Jay, but I told him about scholarships, even building a school so that maybe when you start from like 6 on, they're learning sports, they're learning maybe, of course, football, but basketball, soccer, and then they grow on and then they come back and then they can go and work for the Jaguars or go and work as a lawyer for the Jaguars, be a team doctor for the Jaguars. But why not grow them up as you need to go? As the word says, you grow them up and they will continue on if you grow them up in the way that you want them to go. But I guarantee you, if you give some of these kids who are disenfranchised and poor compared to certain standards that we would consider poor, but shoot, I'm poor, so screw that. But if you could give back to them and give them a backpack, something with the Jaguar on it, some kind of shoes, a little T-shirt, and they go back to school, and even though the kids got on Jordans and you just might have on a pair of Nikes, but they're new, and the Jaguars did that for you, you know how you would run through a wall for a Jaguar team when you grow up? But I sent that to you, but you didn't respond, but that's okay, I'm still coming. And I sent a whole lot more stuff to you, but we'll talk about that at a different time.
I totally agree. It's the hope thing. It's you're giving hope. A lot of our kids, they really do feel as though something small is the best that it'll ever get. And it's sad because if all you know is, and I'm not judging anybody, but if all you know is 50-20, or if it's all you know of Eureka, if you never go outside of the box, you never know what's out there. But if that's all you and your parents and everybody around has ever seen, you really start to feel like that's it. I got to imagine kids in 50-20, they don't expect Jaguars to show up in the hood and, we're doing this, we're doing. That would change.
The small amount of love gestures. It don't take much. It doesn't take much. But people remember the little things. They remember when somebody came and I didn't have to go back to school with Goodwill clothes on. Not saying that Goodwill, because that does help, but to be able to go back and have some kind of pride in something that you have and that your city and your team poured back into you, it's a lot that could come back from that you have no idea where that can come from and where that's going to sprout back and who's going to come back and give back. But if you want to be given to, you first have to give. And I just ask that the city and the team come together and start trying to give back into the different communities. And I'm not just saying black. I'm saying I know y'all getting money to Bowles. I know y'all getting money to Episcopal with Brunel over there. But Range should be getting some money. And I'm sorry, but some of the players who've left and went on, they need to reach back a little bit further and put in a little bit more into that pot.
There you go.
A lot of them do though. A lot of them do. Salute to my partner, my brother, Lavernius Coles. He has given back, and he don't like his name to even be called. Like, he might even text me for what I just said. But he has given back. Brian Dawkins have given back. There are a lot of players that have given back and say, hey, don't put my name out there in lights. I'm not doing it for recognition. I'm doing it because the love that I have for the school. I'm going to put the onus back on us as alumni. We will get into a diehard conversation at the barbershop about our school and how much we love it and but we never dig into our pocket and say, hey, here's my contribution for the year.
Stop waiting for the rich man to save you.
Exactly. There's enough that we can do, because honestly, there's enough foolishness that we spend on. If we really care about where we come from, you would definitely put back into that. Again, I'm going back. I use Big Mama House as the symbolic reason to keep, but it's the same thing. Your school is Big Mama House, okay? Wherever that gave you positioning where you are now, it gave you ground. It gave you, right. It gave you pieces of who you are. It gave you stability. Reigns gave me stability. So I'm digging my hands in my pocket. Here you go. Put it towards the principal funds. Let him allocate it to what needs to go on. There are a lot of SAT, ACT tests that have to be paid for students to take that can't even afford to take the test. That's important. All you got to do is stick your head in the door as an alumnus to say, hey, let me set up a meet with the principal. I want to find out financially, how can I help you? I don't have much, but I've made up my mind. I'm going to budget this on a monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, or yearly basis, and this is what I would like to give. If every person that graduated from Reigns or Reebok had that type of mentality, we wouldn't have to depend on NFL players. There are enough of us that graduated from both of those schools to be able to put in. Players would have what they need. The children would be taken care of from a senior standpoint and what they needed to get to the next level. We wouldn't have to depend on, oh, well, why such and such? He making all that money. He went to there and da-da. How you know what he making? You don't know where he is. But we quick to point the finger. But we won't look in that mirror.
That ain't specific to graduates either. Y'all dope boys can reach in y'all pocket too. That money spent.
Hey,
Send it back.
bruh, like straight, it does not matter. That money can have, excuse the Duval and me, that money can have blood on it. It can have residue on it. It can have stripper lotion on it. It can have straight out the bank ATM, whatever it got on. It all goes to the same cause. It all helps. It's crazy because I started paying on a credit card, and it was like, okay, whatever the little change that's left, I just transfer that over to the credit card, and it don't seem like a lot, but after a while, it's a lot. So like you mentioned, if every alumni, if everybody that's crunk like, boy, I came out of Reebok, I came out of Reigns, I came out of $7. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand those little quirky commercial.
38 cents a day.
Yeah, I get it now because enough of those 8 cents
A million
day
38 cents, boy. That's
take you a long way.
Well, they cannot say that we didn't go hard for our local squad and teams. You know what, Gene? I have a question for you that, I had, like with MTV and video killed the radio star. How do you feel about the iHeartRadio and the Spotify's coming up in the day of the disc jockey, the DJ, and and radio? How does that play in with the iHeart? Do you feel that the day of the disc jockey and the DJ is falling to the wayside, or do you still think that it's strong and there's always going to be that remnant that's going to still be able to have a voice? Because radio is how we still talk and get things out in the community,
Right.
and it's still valuable.
Right.
But all these kids and millennials, all they want to do is stream.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I feel that I came into the radio game in '99. That's been some many moons ago.
Yes.
Back then, there was no social media. It was no streaming. You had to solely depend on what was on the radio. It was a very valuable asset to information.
Yes.
With the emergence of social media and streaming and the internet, there have been a lot of disparities with the two not mixing and mingling. And what I mean by that is there has been a spike in streaming. Millennials, everything is tangible now. You got a smartphone. You can do everything now with your phone. You can handle business in your car from your phone. You can listen to the music you want. You can subscribe to the outlet that you want. You don't have to even push the button on your radio anymore to listen.
No.
However, radio is still a valuable part of society. The reason being is, even though as millennials, because millennials will get older, they always find their way back
to the radio.
the thing that has
Okay.
the longest foundation.
Okay.
Now, what has to happen as disc jockeys, because if disc jockeys are not keeping up with their social media, if they're not directing their listeners to their social media, if they're not promoting on their social media as to when they're on the air, if they're not talking directly like how we're live right now, if they're not talking directly to their listeners or their social media fans or followers, they will fade into the distance.
Okay.
Because social media
It's
is
interactive now.
It's interactive.
Yes.
Social media is not going anywhere. It's real time. I could spill this drink right now. You saw that live. You didn't have to see that.
Hear about it.
Hear about it, or what have you. In '99, you had to hear about
Got
it.
it,
Oh,
yes.
did you see Gene spill his drink over in that minute? You should have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not no more. Not no more. Someone could be drowning. It's sad
Yes.
as a society. Somebody
They're
could be
gonna film
drowning
it.
before they throw a rope out. They
Yes.
gonna pull this out.
Yes.
Because
That's
we got to
crazy.
get viral. Everybody
Yes.
cares about numbers.
Yes.
It is self-gratification. Them likes is fame boost.
Yes.
It pumps them up. Oh, my gosh, I got that many likes.
Yes.
They like me.
And no, they don't.
They like you for the moment.
Yes. Yes.
All right,
It's
for the
very
moment.
fleeting. Very fleeting.
You have to be authentic. Authenticity will never get old.
Okay.
Whether it's radio, social media, going viral, streaming, or whatever. People want what's real.
Yes.
They want the tangibility of being real.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I don't ever turn down an invitation, because I don't ever know where that invitation
Will lead.
could take me.
Yes.
I'm not big or too big or what have you. I'm no bigger than anybody in this room right now at all. So I take that as I am honored. Again, thank each and every one of you for thinking enough of me to invite little old me to come down and sit down and
Oh,
talk with
no,
y'all.
thank you.
All right, that's first and foremost. Second of all, if you're not tangible to the people, if Remo can't reach out to Gene, if my man here, Monroe, if you can't reach out to Gene, then who am I?
Yes.
I'm just a face on the phone.
Yes.
And that's gonna perish after a while.
Wow, yes.
I get my drawers from Walmart. I buy my groceries from Publix. And you can catch me at Holly's Barbecue. You can catch me. You can catch me at Tunis. You can catch me at wherever. You can catch me there. I'm a regular person.
Okay.
And that's what people want to see.
Yes.
They want to be able to say, oh, I saw Gene over here.
Yeah.
He dapped. We hugged. He talked to me for an hour.
Yes. Yes.
That's what they want.
Yes.
If a disc jockey, whether in Jacksonville, Atlanta, New York, LA, or what have you, if they don't have those certain tangibilities, they're going to fade away.
Okay.
And that's not my law. That's just the laws of the people.
People, okay. All right. No, that's what I wanted. I wanted to know about that and how you felt about that. And thank you for sharing your insight and your input in regards to that, because I really wanted to know how that was affecting. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And I want to kill the stereotype of radio stars. The disc jockeys, to own their personalities is what we're professionally called.
Yes.
We are not the stars. The people are the stars. You, the people, are the stars. If we don't have your ears, we don't have a voice.
Yes. I
The
understand.
people are the stars. You got to go talk to the people and say
yes.
something that can, first of all, hold me accountable for what I say. I'm pretty consistent and have been since 1999. Hold those people accountable. If you see them out and they too big to, hey, let me get a self. If they too big for that, turn them off.
Okay.
Turn them off. Use your platform to say, hey, I bumped into so and so and so. I was trying to get a picture or what have you. Now I'm going to say this: we are still human beings.
Yes.
We still deal with life, but there's a
yes.
certain way that we have, because it ain't your fault that I'm dealing with life. It ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. It ain't your fault and your fault.
No.
So I have to have a level of discipline to say she's just doing what she's supposed to do. It ain't her fault that I woke up grieving this morning.
Yeah.
It's not her fault. It's the guy that put my son in the ground fault.
Yes.
I'm not mad at anybody at this table.
Yes.
And you have to have the discipline to do that.
No.
Okay? And I'm coming from a real place right now
Yes, I
because I
know.
actually live that on a daily basis.
Yes.
The people are the stars. It's not us. Without y'all ears, we ain't nobody.
Awesome.
I heard a rumor, or let's call it the legend of Gene Dot. Can we get into how you got that job at the radio?
Yes, that's
Say it again for us to hear.
It's a legend. It's kind of a tale of determination, like dreams wrapped in determination. But it'll come out.
Okay.
All right, so I won't take up a whole lot of time. I graduated from high school in 1993. My plans was to go to FAMU. At the time, true, story of being in love or what have you. I had my paperwork together. I was actually accepted to go to FAMU. At the time, she wasn't my son's mother. She later became that in 1994 when my son was born. But in 93, she didn't have her paperwork together. She didn't leave off. So I did the whole, hey, I'm going to stay here for 2 years, get my associate, then we're going to both go. The fam, I'm going to major in broadcast, and she's going to major in journalism.
Okay.
Going to FAMU, boom, that was it. That was the plan. It didn't happen that way. She got pregnant. After we got out of high school, my son was born in July of 1994. In 1996, I got a job at Airborne Express. And Airborne Express then was the bottom of the totem pole courier service. You had FedEx, you had UPS.
Yes.
DHL.
DHL?
Actually, DHL. DHL purchased Airborne.
Okay.
Airborne Express was a small carrier serviced half of Jacksonville for the most part, and you do different routes. And I started in 96. In 98, I started delivering to the radio station. At the time, it was located on Balmore Circle. On the radio at that time, in the morning show, it was the Flavor Unit. The Flavor Unit consists of my guy, Chill Will, DJ Dr. Doom. It had a young lady named Chinwei, who actually was not in the building at that time. The Flavor Unit changed. It had a lot of interchanging parts over time. To wrap the story up, I was making a pickup at the radio station, bumped into Chill Will at the time, who was the morning show producer. I made him a pitch because when I heard his voice, I recognized who he was, and I was a fan of the Flavor Unit.
Yes.
And I just told him, I was like, hey, I think you guys need like a man on the street type of thing, someone who can tell you how the traffic really is since I'm out here. And he was like, hey, sounds like a great idea. What time do you normally make your delivery? I said, I make it up between 9:15, 9:20. He said, when you come in tomorrow, come back and get on the air. And
Now, look at God.
and that started it. The rest was history. A relationship was formed. We went through the formalities with paperwork. And it's 2019. I'm still on air.
You still, and where he's in like Tennessee or something. Where,
No,
I love a
Chill
testimony.
Will is back now. But the thing
Oh,
of it
that's
is,
Jeff
is
Lee. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about.
Jeff Lee's in. He went to Mississippi.
Mississippi. Okay.
Right. But those are a lot of
Yeah.
yeah. But the thing of it is it's
Duval.
just determination. And I never got on the radio for fame. Like I felt like, hey, I wasn't really trying to know people. My reason for getting it was another stream of income to help me take care of my son. That was the motivation. He was there with me every step of the way, taking him to the station. He saw the early hustle.
Yeah.
I have a 7-year-old daughter now who's actually reaping the benefits of that hustle. But
Yes.
my son was the backbone of why I did. I tell people when I tell this story, although I was raising my son to be a man, he taught me how to be one
Man, yes. For him.
for him.
You did it for him. What a testimony. It has been so wonderful with you sharing all of your different stories and aspects of who you are. I'm just so glad that I have met you. I'm so serious. Yes. Well, I know we're coming close to the end, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make our predictions. Let's go ahead and make the predictions. I'm going with Jacksonville, of course. I'm going to still say by 7. Denver Broncos. Correct? They're going Mile High.
We finna go to Mile High, and we finna kick y'all ass. In my best Jalen Ramsey voice, we gonna win that big. And I like us by 2 touchdowns. I say this the first game that Minshew cracks the 300, 2 touches, and Leonard. It's gonna be a Leonard Fournette sighting.
I say the Jags by 2 touchdowns. Let's hope that coaching decisions are in part and in line with winning. A bird in a hand beats the 2 in the bush. Let's go ahead and get it. We got to go to overtime. Let's go in overtime. If we ain't scored all day in the end zone off a run play, don't try to kick the field goal.
Hey. Mile High. I like the Jags. Denver ain't got nothing for me right now. I haven't seen anything impressive about Denver. I like Jags by 17. I like them for 17, man. You got to give it Minshew that dog. I like what Minshew showing y'all in that.
Minshew mania.
Just to bring back last week. Me and my man's over here.
Hey, I hit him with that.
Hey.
Not only did we cover the spread, but we had a little extra.
A little bit
on it,
extra
too, a
for
little
y'all
extra
boys.
oomph
Hey, we ain't gonna talk
on it,
about
too.
that
What?
though. We put a little bit of extra on
Somebody
there.
call us
Look,
good
hey,
and crazy.
sprinkle it on there for y'all boys. You like that, don't it?
A road clock is right twice a day.
Look here, man. I ain't never not Duval. So it's always going to be Jacksonville for me. And Joey Flacco was average even when he got his ring, in my opinion. So I'm going to put 2 picks on it. If my dog playing is going to be a pick 6, and we're going to win by 2 touches. If my dog don't play, it's still going to be 2 picks, just no pick 6, and we're going to win by 1 touch.
Okay. Boy, I love it. All right, well, to let y'all know, right now we are a 3-point dog going into Mile High. They are 0-3, meaning this could be a very hungry and need of a win team. 2 excellent outside rushers in Chubb and one. Yeah.
But it's still a reason that they're 0-3. It's the reason that
I'm
they're
going to
0-3.
give y'all this one. I'm going to take the Jags with my 3 points. Give me the Jags with the 3. The 14 and all these, y'all getting in y'all hard, man. And I'm not mad at you about it, but realistically, I don't know. It kind of scared me. I'm scared. That's the only thing that gives me any kind of confidence that Flacco is more trash than Minshew. But they need a victory. And in the NFL, we just came off one. We got a lot of stuff going on.
I don't think I really don't think they can run the ball, and being that they can't run the ball on us, they can't control the clock. So with our defense, I really think we control this game from start to finish, and Minshew just come out and he does Minshew without any pressure on him. He really can just relax and just
That's
do his
what I'm trying to tell you. Von Miller and Chubb, Bradley Chubb.
Hey, I want to make another prediction.
Old and washed up.
I want to make another prediction.
This man say Von Miller old and washed up.
You said Von Miller and Chubb, right? I want to make another prediction. They won't get a sack. Von Miller nor Chubb will get a sack Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna go out and say they won't get one sack.
Okay.
Combined.
Yeah. Go Minshew and them Jags. I like y'all boys over Denver.
Well, guys, we have come to the end of another episode. We will find out whose picks are right and predictions are right next week. But we want to, again, thank Gene.com for coming out and sharing so much of himself with us. Thank my cast and squad for coming out and being a part. And I just want to say thank you again and excuse the Duval and me. Guys, say bye to the audience. Excuse the Duval and me.
Till the day that I die, till the nigga get high, ain't no harm, you know. Till I done gave it all I got for the city, I'ma ride.